Right, guys, apologies. I am having issue with which way around it goes. So, and then we shall get into. That's the camera, right? Okay. No, that's, don't want to. Right. I will try my best to get this working like we want it to. Oh, I've got to go in settings. I forget how to do this. Right. Right. I will try my best to get this working like we want it to. Oh, I've got to go in settings. I forget how to Apologies. Right. Okay. Not getting that right. I'm going to pop out a second and I will come back in. Oh, sorry about this, guys. No, we don't want to do that. Right. Let's see if I can do it from my computer. Right. Okay. No, that's there. Right. Right. I'm going to pop out a second and I will come back in. Oh, sorry about this, guys. Right. Let's see if I can do it from my computer. Very frustrating. Right, see if I can get this done. Basically, I want to do this stream horizontal, but it's not letting me, so we are going to see if we can get this. Very frustrating. Picked up. See if I can get this done. Basically, I want to do this stream horizontal, but it's not letting me, so right, bear with me. Just open up Studio now, and let's see if we can get this turned around. I'm not quite sure why you can't just put your phone on and have it the way you want it, but it is what it is. So I'm learning as we're going. I haven't done one of these for a while. While I'm doing this, thank you to everybody who has subscribed recently. We are flying through the 100s in the new thousands. So yeah, it's really exciting. Title description. I'm not sure that's what I want, but let's click on this anyway. Let's see if I can see if there's any details here. It's all around the phone stuff. I just don't quite get it. Well, that's everything there. I just want it to be horizontal, but just doesn't seem to want to do that. So very frustrating. If I turn it that way, is it going to do anything? No, it just says orientation is locked. Unfortunately, my camera rig is just not designed for having the microphone on and being in the vertical. But thanks to the 11 people who've joined in. Let's see if I can make this work. If I can't, we might. Oh, we're not giving up. We are not giving up. Right, there we go. I think that is working. Now let's just angle. It's not ideal. I want it landscape, but it's not going to give me that. So we'll try that. Right. Okay, we're in. Let's see how we're going. If you've got any comments, do please throw them down in the chat. I've got my laptop up so I can see what your comments are. This is a bit of a hangout session, and you know, if you've got things you want to chat about, throw them in the comments. Let me know where you're tuning in from, because that's always cool as well. Right, I haven't put a video out yet other than the intro, so let's give you a bit of an update on where we've got to. I have cut out the base and I've begun to sketch my ideas. I don't know how well you can see that, so let's see if we can get a bit closer. But I started to sketch out my design for Minas Tirith. I don't know whether it's just really coming out poorly on my laptop or whether it's poor on the camera as well. So let me know if you can see that all right. I appreciate the light and all that doesn't help things, but there we go. So running through what we've got the main kind of courtyard on the top, just here in the center, and then we've got the bit that comes out here. We've got just down here, we've got the main gate. Then we've got a couple of watchtowers going around, and then at the back here, up here, this is going to be probably the highest bit of the rock. And what does that look like? That hopefully is going to look like this. And again, apologies for the light. Let's see if I can help that. So the courtyard bit is here, and that bit that sticks out that I was talking about, that's this bit, which stands on this nice bit of rock face there. And then the bit at the back that I was talking about, that's this bit here. There is a bit of a gap between this sort of temple hall, great hall thing on the top, and then this hill here. So I think this is really great. My friend Phil lent this to me, so a big thanks to Phil. Big shout out if he is watching or watches later on. So I think what I'm going to be doing today, I've drawn out where I think these sort of heights levels. I think I've decided where they're going to be and the sort of distance between them. I'm just coming back over to the board. We've got those drawn out. So what I'm going to do is probably use some of this blue paper that I've got and start to draw out some templates for those, so that when I start putting foam down, I've got a guide to cut to. Noting this is probably not the best thing. I have got some card as well, so I'll have a think about it, decide what I want to do, and we'll go from there. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing this evening. Obviously, if you're also doing some hobby time while watching this, do let me know in the comments, what you're up to. Are you painting? Are you doing some modeling? Are you just chilling out with a cup of tea, a beer, soft drink? Just, interact. Hopefully, these live streams are what you guys enjoy, what you're after. If they're not, let me know in the comments, because then I won't do one again. But this is an easier way of me getting some content out in the midweek when predominantly on one project. So, with being said, let's get started. I think where I'm going to start is working out some sizes so that I can start to copy that circle onto the blue paper. So I'm going to do the kind of that middle piece first. So what we're just going to do here, I think, is draw a circle, and then from there I can work out the. Oh, that was not good. Right, find that middle point again. Compasses, they're not my favorite tools, but they are quite clever in the way they work, and when they do work, it's very useful. So right, we've got that. Let's work out the length going down here. So let's mark that center point, because that's going to be a bit key. Perfect. And then from that center point to the end, we're looking at about 97 mil, 98 mil, something like that. So let's find that. 97, 98 mil. 97, 98 mil. About there, I reckon. So that's that. Okay. Draw that as a straight line, and then I can work out from there. I mean, it doesn't have to be exact, but ultimately I want to try and replicate what I've got on this base, because I quite like what I've managed to draw there. Good evening, Rob. Good to see you. Drawing drawing, you can make out some of it. I hope it goes well with it. I'm in the South Coast. Brilliant. Fantastic. Oh, good stuff, Rob. Thank you very much for commenting. And I'm liking the cowboy hat. So I suspect, are you the same Rob that has a YouTube channel that's doing a lot of Dead Man's Hand stuff, and we've chatted online a bit? If so, welcome, because it's really good to see you and appreciate the support for the channel. And if anybody's watching, do check out Rob's channel. It's really good. He's got some really good content. I think he's started some bolt action stuff as well, and figures as well that on his latest short video. So that was quite exciting to see. I'm really curious whether he's tried Contact Front yet, but no pressure. Right, this is all pretty much freehand. I am going to do use rulers and compasses and all that where I can, but there is quite a bit of freehand to this as well, which tells you of my precision or not. So it should be quite fun. Right, let's get this lined up. Perfect. Brilliant. So that's that. No, not him, but I do like his work too. Cool. Yeah, no, good shout, Robert. If you are on Facebook, feel free, send me a message. If you're on the South Coast and if you're anywhere near where I am, then maybe we could get together for a game sometime, or just chill, hang out. I do go to the club occasionally, not as much as I used to. It's mostly because life gets busy. But if you're in and around, or you're looking for a club, then let me know. I can point you in the direction of one, or at least one. There's a couple others in my area where people go to that I know, and they've always got good things to say about them. So I always think that's quite good. Right, do I cut that out now? Yeah, I suppose I could do. Now, I've got quite a cool tool, and I've literally put it in the drawer behind the camera stand. That was not bright. But what compass, but instead of the pencil, it's got a blade. So you can put it on the paper, and then you just follow the line with the blade, and it cuts it. It's really quite clever. And I wish I'd got that out before I started filming, because then I wouldn't have had to muck you around. So I apologise. I'm going to move the camera ever so slightly. Hopefully that wasn't too jarred. I really do want to do it landscape so that I can show you more of what I'm doing without having to move the camera and stuff. That is squeaky, isn't it? Bit of an old school drawer. And let me try to find in my drawer of wonders, a lot of prep to do, or a lot for this. I was actually lying. There is quite a lot you have to think about and get sorted out, ready for these things, and I have failed to prepare well. So there we go. Right, there it is. Lovely. This thing here. Right, let's tell you about that, because if you haven't come across one of these before, really good bit of kit. I would highly recommend. All right, let's pop that in there. Some green stuff. All sorts of stuff in this drawer. My goodness. Right, there we go. Let's get that in there. Lovely. Right. Fantastic. Right, so let's move the camera back. Try and get it in shot. Right, so this is what I was talking about. It's got a blade, as you can see on this end, and then what you do is you basically move the needle point to where you want the center, stick that in the center, and then you basically move the blade around the circle, and it's a really handy tool. So I'm going to use this. I'm going to use it on a cutting mat, not my board. Stick that down there for a second. Let's bring this in. Is that in shot? Yeah, it is. That's good. Oh, wheels falling off. Oh my goodness, it's breaking on me. Good stuff. Right, what are other people up to tonight? Anybody painting this evening? Anybody? What else are we up to? Chilling, just watching. Dare I ask, has anybody got the football on tonight? I believe kickoff was about 15 minutes ago. So if you know what the score is in the Europa League Cup final, let me know. Not that I really care who wins, because I don't like United and I'm not a big Spurs fan either. But, you know, don't hold that against me. Right, a little bit further. At the end of the day, we will watch who we support and what we watch for fun. When it stops being fun, I guess it's time to stop watching. But yeah, my team won last night, and it's not Liverpool, so that's my 2p worth on football. And it's not tricky. It's just I don't want to get it wrong. And like you saw when I was trying to draw the circle, I have a habit of the point popping out of the centre there. So right, so there's a light pass on it. It's not gone through yet, but it is a good start. So I'm going to just do a few light strokes here. And I primarily got this for cutting. Oh, see it? There you go. Lost it. Lost the centre. Primarily got this for cutting circles for like arches and stuff through card and plasticard. So the knife part of it is designed for some heavy duty cutting, or at least heavier than paper. But yeah, that's it's going through. Probably need at least another pass, maybe another two. Yeah, there we go. So I'm hoping to get a video out on Sunday as well, but noting I'm supposed to be away this weekend on a reenactment show. There we go, starting to get through. So I'll see what I can do. If I've got any time Friday to put something together, I will. Unfortunately, we're just in that time of the year where the reenactment shows are happening relatively regularly. I've got one show in June, I think one in July, and then I don't know what August is. There are 3 weekends in a row which have got shows in, and I'm not sure that I'm going to go to all 3. And if I do, I probably won't live to see 2026. But that, yeah, I mean, to be fair, it's not really fair for me to go 3 weekends in a row and leave my wife with little ones. So we'll have to see. Right, I think. Oh, it's the sticker on the back. There we go. This sticker here. I'll just peel that off. That will help me no end. Cool. So I've made it through that quite nicely. Next job, to get a scalpel or a hobby knife. I've got an X-Acto knife, which I think is probably bought in America. And what I'm going to do is probably just do the straights to start with. Just to get, and again, just doing several light strokes. Oh, I'm cutting way too far, but never mind. Yeah, there we go. Lovely. And then I'm going to cut this curve freehand. Now, usually I've heard a lot of people say, oh, you want to move the paper, not the knife. So apologies, I'm probably going to get in the way of the camera here, but I'm just going to try to do this and do some joined up. Yeah, that's not too bad. Are we through? We're through some of it. That's all right. A couple more passes, maybe. Brilliant. So, has anybody bought anything recently? I notice we've got two absolute legends who are still watching. They're either absolutely fascinated by what I'm trying to do, or in fact just want to support the channel in a very practical way, and that's very kind of you. Yeah, nearly off the end there. Right. The other thing with a live stream, which is an interesting challenge, is trying to do what you want to do whilst getting it in camera and not getting bits of your body in the way that essentially stop people being able to see what you are doing. It's a bit of an art form, really. I'm not sure I'm mastering it at all, but there we go. And I'm rabbiting, so there we go. It's all good fun. Keeps me out of trouble. Hopefully gets me to achieve one of my goals, which was to build Minas Tirith this year. So yeah, if we can do that, I'll be really, really pleased. And I don't think I've done this side nearly as well as the other side, and I'm cutting through too hard. But we will cut this out, so that's the main thing. Let's see, that would have been better to go that way first. I think I found the kind of the natural way that my hand, it's smoother one way more than the other way. There we go. Yes, right. We've got it. We've got it. So there we go. I've managed to cut out a piece, a template. So that is good news. Hopefully it's going to get a bit easier because we're going to be working on circles next. So let's put that to one side. Try not to lose it. Let's put that craft knife away so I don't stab myself, which is not uncommon. It's happened once or twice. Cool. How are we doing? We've still got one person left with me, and we're 23 minutes in. So, thank you. Well done. Good endurance. Right. What we're doing next? We are moving on to the next template, which I'm going to start on the inner circle, which would be the highest circle. So that is where I'm looking to do. So I'll just set it based on my drawing. And I'm now going to transfer that. Now, I do have a slight idea, which would be to do the big circle first, and then draw the other circles within that circle. And then essentially what I'm doing, instead of cutting out big circles, I'm cutting out rings. And that would save me paper, and that might be a more effective way of doing it. So let's set the compass at that outer circle, which is about there, maybe a smidge out. There we go. No, a little bit more. This is a challenge to get the same. I mean, it's not critical that I get it absolutely bang on, but we like to try to be as accurate as possible. So let's go with that. And in theory, this should be a simple case of put it in the middle and draw a circle. So let's see if this works. Ooh, well, my compass is working. My circle drawing skills is a bit naff, but we are winning. So we're going to keep going. And there we go. So that is the outer circle. Don't think that's going to show up very well on camera, so apologies, but there is a circle there. Trust me on that one. Right, next up is the next circle in. Back to the base. Center point there. And let's move it in. Oh, go. Is that close enough? Not sure. So I had to get this in tonight. It's a Wednesday, and that's when my videos come out. But the other reason is I'm actually going out tomorrow night for some leaving drinks. Although I say tomorrow night, it's starting at lunchtime, and it's going. So we will see how well I fare. Not holding out a huge amount of hope that I'm going to make it much past the end of the bottomless brunch, which is scheduled for about 3:30. I think it's due to end. So if I make it to there and I'm still standing, that'll be a win. I'll take that one. Right, okay, so there's the next level. Let's get our base back and let's go for the next level. We should have, I think it's 5 levels in total. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 4. Is that right? It'll be the ground level, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the top level. Yeah, that's right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the top level. Yeah, brilliant. So I haven't gone wrong. I haven't got it crazily wrong, which has been known to happen. I get confused and it all goes wrong. Right. Do let me know in the comments below on the video, or if you're watching the live stream, just put it out in the chat. Let me know what projects you're working on, because I'm always interested. I take it I am the only one doing 2 mil Lord of the Rings, but there might be some others out there. Maybe you're working on, I don't know, 28 mil World War II. That's quite common, particularly, and sorry, common. I say quite popular, and obviously Chain of Command 2 has just come out. I think this past weekend. I think people were collecting theirs at Partisan. So if you're one of them, let me know what it's like. I'm very tempted to get one of the bundles on the pre-order. They seem to be a good price and be good to look through. I was going to get version 1, and then not long after that they said, oh, version 2 is coming out, so don't bother getting version 1. I have played version 1, and it's sort of grown on me over the last year and a half. So I'm very tempted with version 2. And it wouldn't be the first World War II game that I've ever bought, or probably the last. I own copies of Bolt Action version 1 and 2. I own a copy of Battle Group. What else? I'm sure I've got other World War II games. Actually, that might be it. Just Battle Group and oh no, I've got Flames of War. I don't know which one I've got. Not the latest, but yeah. Yeah, I've got 3. That's probably enough for any human being. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Happy days. Right, so I'm going to cut these out now, and I think what I'm going to do is work in reverse. So I started in on the outside, and I worked my way in. This time I'm going to start on the inside, work my way out, with the principle that it's going to be easier to cut an inner circle rather than the whole thing out, and then yeah, it's just not going to work. So let's do this. And we know this cuts through paper quite easily, but we'll probably need a few turns. Probably actually could measure this and get it exactly right. But we're just going to line up and fasten it. So there we go. Right, we're going all right here. Got a little bit tougher there, so I think it probably was cutting a bit deeper there. We're doing all right. We've made our first pass. Let's see how many passes are going to take. Bets in the chat. Oh, we'll come around for 2. That's 2 passes. Let's see. It's probably going to be at least a third. I'm slightly worried about, yeah, slightly worried that was going outside the circle, but I don't know whether that's just the angle that I'm looking at it. Right, that's 3. Let's have a stop. Let's have a look. How are we going to get this falling out? Oh, it's not far off, you know. No, I can't really see on this side. It is faint, but it is definitely working. So let's keep going. No rest for the wicked. Ah, look at that. That's actually a slightly easier way of doing it. Move the paper. I think we're going through. Look at that. I think we've made it. Wait, has that gone through? Not all the way. Not all the way around. Yeah, okay. So a few more cuts. That's okay. Now, genius that I am. If I cut the middle out, the center point goes. But what I need to do is start on the outside and work in. Nobody caught that, did they? I'm glad I did, because that would have made the next bit very difficult. So while we've not completely screwed up, let's see. Oh, I can't actually get to the outside too with this. This is not wide enough. So I think we're going to do the next inner circle, and then we'll finish off the inside. And then I think I'm just going to have to cut the other 2, but that is okay. We can do that. This is all achievable. It does sound a bit weird because I'm literally sat in my hobby room by myself doing hobby time, but it's quite nice being on the stream and having people comment. Appreciate Robert is sort of leading the way on that one, so thank you to Robert. But yeah, it's nice not doing hobby by myself. It's kind of nice to sort of feel like there's a community and yeah, doing some hobby time together. So yeah, really good. Appreciate all your support and the support for the channel, because obviously without you guys the channel would not be where it is. And we'll just check out, because I was on where was I? I'm on my, what do you call it, YouTube studio, just having a look at my channel statistics. We'll quickly run through that, because why not? Let's let you guys know how it's going. Wow, up to 1,177. So I've had quite a few subscribers in the last 24 hours. I was not following. I genuinely didn't know that. Oh, and I've got a couple new comments. One of them's on a video. That was quite an old video. When I was looking at my urban train, I probably should get that series going again and actually finish off those bits of urban terrain. Again, leave a comment below if you think that's something you'd like to see. But yeah, we're getting close to 1,180. So you know, that's really not far off 1,200. So we're really really starting to get some subscribers. It was really impressive to hit 1,000 subscribers. I have to say that was a real milestone that I was really pleased to hit. And thank you to everybody who supported there. But I kind of thought it would either slow down at that point, or you know, that would be it. There wouldn't be anybody else to want to subscribe to my channel, and yet people have still kept subscribing, and in quite some numbers as well. So yeah, really appreciate the support, guys. I am always looking for ideas for videos, for little mini series. Obviously, Minas Tirith had to be done. Everybody's been waiting for that. Or certainly a lot of the people who comment have been waiting for that. Maybe they're just the loud ones in the group. I'm really struggling to get this last bit cut. A little bit nervous about not getting it on the line and then doing a separate cut. Let's try that. Go on. Am I going to tear it? No. I'm actually going to get through it. Lovely. All right, that's one bit. Just get this bit over here, and then that's that. I think what I'll have to do for the other bit is get some scissors, and as I haven't got any up here, I think that might have to wait for tomorrow or whenever. See what's happening the rest of the week. What time are we on? We got about 20 minutes left, something like that. Right, so I've got the top level here. I've got the second to top. No, let's try that again. Got the top level here. So that is going to be the courtyard, and then this on the rockwork. Underneath that, we've got the next level. So if you can imagine that this is roughly going to sit on top of that, a little bit of height. So that'd be good. And then underneath this level, we've got some more level, and it should work something like that. Now I've got these other two to cut out. How I'm going to do that? It's a really good question. Probably a craft knife. In fact, let's just give that a go now. Does it have to be perfect? Not really. Obviously, the best I can make it is kind of key. And if we can get this done in the next 20 minutes, that would be ideal. Thank you to those who've logged in watching. We're up to 3 people now. There was 11 earlier, and I don't know whether that was a glitch, whether YouTube was just teasing me, or whether it was genuinely 11 people were watching. But they did disappear quite quickly and just left sort of 3 or 4. So yeah, it is what it is. People have got busy lives. People will catch up with this live stream another time, I'm sure. And again, I will work to improve these. So I appreciate this is the first one. It's a bit rough and ready. I'm hoping to borrow it from my friend Phil. His wire cutter. That will certainly make doing the foam work a lot easier. And if I can live stream, if that's what you guys want to see. If not, I'll just crack on with it in my own time, listening to some music, and I'll record it, or I'll time lapse it, or something. So it's kept, and I'll put it into a video. But at the moment, I just don't have a lot of time to do much hobby, and therefore getting videos out is a little bit challenging. But you know what? It's a good challenge, and it just makes me think about what am I spending my time doing. What I will say is I have a lot of hobbies that I like. There's a lot of things I like. So, for example, last weekend I probably spent good 4 hours. If you've seen my channel before, you're a long time subscriber. I did some Lego videos on this channel before. I've taken them down so that it can help the algorithm. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Lego. Do enjoy it. Gets the brain working. Very creative. Also don't have to paint Lego, which I have to say, when I sort of really started making videos on the channel, it was mostly because I'd sort of grown bored of painting things. I wanted just to get to the end product quicker. Yeah, that was good. But yeah, then I set up my other channel, which is for Lego. I haven't really done any content on that for, well, probably since back early last year. I don't know. I might get back to it. It's just about time. And like I say, I'm doing some reenactment, which typically is done over the summer. It doesn't give me a lot of time. I also want to get out on my bike over the summer, which again, I've been out twice so far, and that's really poor because I like to get out a couple of times a week, but just not got the time to do that and make YouTube videos and do hobby stuff. And yeah, you probably get the message at this point. Is this just a me thing? Is having multiple hobbies that essentially all fight for your time, is that just a me thing, or is that something that you guys struggle with as well? Let me know in the comments. Right, let's see how I got through. Looking promising in places, so we'll do another pass. And this time I've got that first cut to guide me, and wow, while saying that, I managed to completely miss the line. So, you know, commentator's curse, absolutely brilliant. I probably should apologise at this point, because I did think about the timings of this, and this kind of works well for me because it's sort of just after doing bedtime with a little one, so it's a good time for me. But I do appreciate that actually it's probably not late enough to catch the evening lot on the east coast of America, and it's probably getting a little bit later for those in Europe. And then Australia, I presume it's really early in the morning. So I've not really picked a time that works for most. But again, apologies, but I sort of had to pick a time that worked well for me. So if you can't watch this live, then you know, no worries. You can always catch up with it once it's uploaded as a video. And all those people who've got to watch it live, who will never get that hour of their life back again, can either watch it again if they want, relive the happy memories, the exciting times that we've had shared together, or could just not watch again. Whatever works for you. And I jest, because I do really appreciate everybody's time and those who are tuning in. We're up to 5 now. Do say hello in the comments or the chat. If you have just joined us, let me know where you're watching from, what you're up to. Are you doing some hobby, something like painting, building, or have you just dropped in to listen to me and watch Minas Tirith getting built? Let me know. I'm always excited to hear where you guys are watching from and where the support's coming really from. Big shout out to Robert earlier, who dropped some comments in the chat, which was really kind. Since then, nobody said anything, and I've just been waffling. But you know, if you don't want to hear me waffle, put something in the chat. If that's not an incentive, I don't know what is. Oh man, this is getting terrible. So I think the conclusion is that the compass cutter, definitely better than doing it hands free. You get a lot crisper circle. However, this doesn't stretch far enough for the what am I saying? The 2 outer circles. So that's why I'm doing it freehand for those who've just joined us. So let's try get this circle finished up, and then maybe, just maybe, what we got 14 minutes left before I need to call it an evening, or maybe I'll just manage to go over slightly. We'll see, but I want to try and get these done. And for those who have just joined, these what I'm cutting out now is essentially the templates for the different levels, and they're going to be my templates for when I'm cutting the foam to shape. Probably should have done it in a material that wouldn't burn, but we'll see. I've never used a wire cut before, so there's a first. Had never used bark when I did the rock work for Helm's Deep, so that was a first. But we live, we learn, and we find what works for us, find what doesn't. I'm quite good at finding what doesn't work. Lovely. Right, there is the second level. Cool. And the last one, the last level here. Thanks to all those who have liked this video, by the way, much appreciated. And if you haven't yet subscribed, do please hit that subscribe button. It costs you absolutely nothing. Not that this is a sales pitch, but yeah, it doesn't cost you anything, and obviously is great support to the channel. If you have watched any of my videos and you think, oh, actually they're not too bad, they're not terrible, and you've got a friend or somebody you know that is into wargaming, then you know, please give the channel a shout out to them. Would really appreciate people getting the word out. I look at Robert's still here. Might have to see later on as there's a storm coming up. Oh, a storm on the south coast. That's a bit concerning. I haven't seen one outside my window yet, but I will keep an eye out. And that might affect the internet, so we'll see how it goes. But I don't know. We'll see. What was I saying? Yeah, I look at a channel like Storm Steel with, I don't know, I think he's up to 15,000 plus subscribers, and I think, wow, you know, I don't think I could ever get there, but that's got to be word of mouth. You know, that's a lot of people telling other people about this channel. So, you know, if you like the channel, do please, you know, give a recommendation. Of course, if you don't like the channel and you've got something you don't like, then tell them about it. I mean, that's got to be a great little way of seeing them off. But yeah, I'm only joking. We don't want to treat people badly. But if you could tell people about the channel, that'd be fantastic. Right, so we are making some good progress here on the first round of cutting on the final level. This is going to be the first level after sort of the main courtyard that goes round this bit around here. I don't know if it's out of shot here. Yeah, it probably is. Let's just hold this up. Give myself a break. Right. So this lower courtyard here, that is going to be basically on the base. So what I'm cutting out now, the template is for this first level here. And what I noticed the other day when I was looking at this is that the first level's got quite a high wall. Second level's not got as high a wall. The third level goes back to having a really high level wall. And then the fourth level goes back to the same as so basically there's a pattern. 1 and 3 are roughly the same. 2 and 4 are roughly the same as well as each other. So when it comes to using some foam to make the walls, to basically hold in all of that foam, that rock work, then I'll be using that as a rough guide to make sure that levels 1 and 3 have the same height wall, and levels 2 and 4 have the same height wall. And again, this probably won't be the most accurate model ever, but what I find with 2mm is that it's all about tricking the eye and giving you're trying to capture a look or a feel, and if you can do that, then actually it creates it can be a really cracking model or effect that you can get, and it's something that my mate Mark did really well when he was creating his 2mm figures for the first time using essentially matchsticks and green stuff. And the process really simple, and the paint job is really simple because it's essentially a lot of dots. But what it does is it tricks the eye, makes it look like there's actually figures, and it's all very, very clever stuff. I have to say, 2mm really surprised me. It really impressed me. And if you've seen any of Mark's stuff at any of the shows, like Salute this year, he had a really great game, and again, his armies looked fantastic for it. And yeah, a lot of people drop by and are really impressed with his work, and he is very clever. Right, there we go. We've finished the first pass. It's time to make that second pass and see if we can cut through this. Brilliant. Thank you to Robert for all the comments. You've absolutely held the chat going, or at least you've been the sole contributor. So I really, really appreciate that, Robert. And as I say, what I need to start doing, I think, is probably posting more work in progress pictures and stuff like that onto my Facebook page, and try to get people directed to that. I think I do put all my videos up on there, so if you want to know when my videos are coming out or when they have come out, then do check out my Facebook page, which is the same name as the title of this channel, T's Miniature Battlefields. And that is there for me to, basically let people know when I've got videos out. And as I say, what I need to do is start taking pictures of like work in progress and getting those out there, posts up on there. At some point, when I get there, I've talked about Patreon in the past. I've decided not to go down that route just yet. At some point, I hope that YouTube will say, "Yep, you've met the criteria to do channel membership," and that might be another way of letting people in on what I've been working on. Maybe even do early releases on videos, which just adds more time pressure to me. But hey, you know what? It's surely worth it, right? If you guys enjoy it, I try to provide it. So, and I always think with wargaming community, it's certainly the online community. Is really encouraging how much people form friendships. My friend Martin in Denmark. If you're watching, Martin, big shout out. Apologies, I haven't been in touch very much lately. I think we've both been very busy with all sorts of various things. But yeah, met through wargaming. My friend Dave down in Australia. Again, shout out to you, Dave, if you're watching. And notice little one is growing, so great to see. We met through wargaming. And a couple of times he's been over to the UK. We've met up, we've hung out, we've played games, we've been to submarine museums and all sorts. Been cracking. But again, that's all out of the wargaming community. So I have to say it's I find it brilliant. Really, really enjoy it. I just don't get to the club nearly as much as I should, and therefore I probably don't play as many games as I should. But there we go. Okay, so let's just do a recap. I have we've got about 5 minutes left before I'm going to call it there. Just to recap, my aim for this evening was to cut the templates out for the 4 levels, plus, in fact, I think there might be a 5th one, but I've done 4, and that's the main thing. And then this top courtyard level. So let's just have a look at what those look like. And to save some paper, I've gone for rings rather than full circles. So I've got the first level there, and that's going to sit there. Then slightly higher, we're going to sit the second ring. I'm not going to be able to do this all the way, but then we're going to sit the third level, and then we'll sit the 4th level, of which there might be a little bit more between that and the courtyard template, which will sit at the top in the middle, and it will come out probably just past, because it's going to be slightly off center. It's going to come out slightly past the edge of the first level there, and these rings obviously will be better placed, so it should look something like that. That is what I'm hoping, and hopefully that makes some sense. So what next? What I will try to do And let's just get the base back on. What I'm going to try to do next is work out how to start, because that's the bit I'm struggling with. What I could do is do the outer wall, but that feels like I'm not going to have anything to bond it to, only the wood, and that just to me feels like a recipe for disaster. I think the wall will be coming off and it won't be very good. So in some ways, what I think I need to do is start to work on forming the foam into essentially coming out from the outside, coming into the middle. And once I've got that, I can start building up. The other option is to build the inner courtyard with a single piece of 3mm foam board. Basically, it's like thin insulation foam, and it is just 3mm thick. And if I could do that, that would give me a former to put the wall against. I could also then glue it to that and pin it to that, and that might give it enough to hold it in position. But if I do the wall first, then I've got to work over it, which I know it's not going to be very tall, but I'm going to have to work, essentially try not to knock it while I'm building in the middle. So I'm almost tempted to do inside first and then work out, and essentially the outside wall will almost be the last thing that I do. And that will also help me when I'm building, when I've built all the small little dwellings, buildings to go inside. When I'm placing them down, I don't want to be, knocking the wall and stuff like that, which is a potential. So I think we might therefore work on the basis that we're going to build up the rock work, the foam here to give us all the layers, which is where the templates will come in, to know where to cut it. And in terms of the height, I'm going to be working to the thickness of bits of foam that I've got. So a few, that will help me out there. And then overall, height wise, that should give me something to work to. So that really just leaves me to say a massive thank you to everybody who's in and watched. I appreciate, we're not talking hundreds, we're not really even talking 10, but I really appreciate everybody who has joined in, both in the chat but also just watching. Really appreciate it. And obviously anybody who's watching this after the live stream, thank you for your support. I'm not going to promise a video on Sunday because, as I say, I don't know what I'm going to be up to. If I can get the hot wire cutter off fill and start to put some foam down and cut it into shape, then the video on Sunday, if I can get it filmed and edited in time. If not, we may be back on next Wednesday with a live stream. So watch this space, keep an eye on the channel, keep an eye on the Facebook page, and I'll update as and when I know. But until then, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.